guys, and welcome back to my channel. Apologies for the irregular uploads recently. I've been trying to develop a new schedule to stop the content dumps from happening every Thursday as they have been. And this is roughly what it's going to look like. I might change it a bit, I also might not. Anyway, so today we are going to be talking about my LJL predictions from last week, as well as my predictions for the LJL games that this Sunday in my time zone, or tomorrow. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I think I might just be the LJL god. So since last Thursday, we've had several games, all of which I've either predicted on stream or in game. For those that don't know, my stream schedule has still been pretty good, but my video schedule has been pretty woeful. So a lot of these, I think I made these four on stream. Um, sorry, these four on my last YouTube video, and the rest of them were all made on stream. But yeah, as you can see, I've only got two wrong, which were both Rascal Jester games. One of which was me predicting Rascal Jester to be upset by V3, which was gambling on V3 looking half decent and Rascal Jester being out of form. Rascal Jester weren't that good, but they were good enough to beat the weakest team in the league. And then Rascal Crest Gaming Act. I haven't watched any of these games in detail, which is why I haven't got any detailed notes next to them. But from memory, Crest Gaming didn't play as well as they could have done, and Rascal Jester exploited that. Um, Otherwise, I think you can see that they are mostly like, if you had to do a power ranking, it's just always gone to the favorites. Like V3 Burning Core, you'd expect Burning Core to win that. Sengoku Rascal Jester, you'd expect that to go Sengoku's way. And I think you can say that for literally every single game down here. So I'm not going to go like harp on too much about it. But what I will take you towards is my record of predictions. Yeah, we'll ignore the LPL that you can see in the corner here. That's just horrible. But anyway, in terms of the LJL, I think I'm popping off a little bit. Sorry, I just wanted to change the order in which I was ordered. I got 22 correct and then only 6 wrong, which is giving me a 79% accuracy if we round it to the nearest whole number, which I think's, well, whole percentage. I think that's pretty nice, personally, and it's definitely higher than I was aiming for. So let's hope we can continue this on with the games from Sunday. Some of these games are pretty interesting from the looks of things. We got Rascal Jester Sengoku, which I think could be fairly interesting. I still think Sengoku are one of the strongest teams in the league, but Rascal Jester are definitely improving. Another exciting game could be V3 versus Burning Core, because I would say those are two of the weakest teams, although Burning Core are probably a bit better than CGA and Axes. Additionally, you've got Hawks versus Axes, which is again two of the weaker teams in the league playing, which could be fairly interesting. DFM CGA should be the one obvious blowout because you've got arguably one of the strongest team in the league up there with Sengoku, and then you have Crest Gaming Act, who are a bit more average to the lower end of the league. Anyway, so if we're going to do predictions, let's get right into it. I think Sengoku, Rascal Jester. I think Rascal Jester have been on a return to form, but you can see that in their last game they lost to DFM. I just wanted to show all the games. But like you can see, they beat Crest Gaming Act. They lost to Sengoku in the first half. Oh, sorry, first third because they played each other 3 times in LJL. They beat V3. They lost to Burning Core, but they've been on a bit of a return to form. Like they've had 2 hard games in a row, but other than that, they've looked better. They've looked a bit stronger. Personally, I think I'm gonna have to. I think I have to back Sengoku. You look at players like Paz. It just seems like is it Honey? Or am I thinking of the wrong team? I'm not thinking of the wrong team. Good, 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 good. I think Sengoku just have a stronger individual ability than any other team in the league at the moment. I think in stronger team and individual than most of the player teams. The only team that's like individually stronger than them is DFM, but like DFM don't have the same level of coordination that Sengoku do. So I think Sengoku are still, if I was to do a power rankings, the strongest team in the league. So I think it's fair to say that Sengoku should win this game and are favourites to win this game, and so I'm going to predict them to win this game. Axes versus Hawks. See, if you asked me to predict this at the start of the summer split, I'd have said it was a very close game, and I'd have probably just gone with Hawks because of my like faith in Marble as an AD carry, even though he's not really that good, but I like him a lot. Because he's the one V3 player who's got promoted from Academy who's actually doing anything. Because yeah, none of these guys are doing shit. Currently 0-28 in 2022. Um, but Hawks are currently third. Hawks are doing pretty well for themselves coming out of the first third of the season. Whilst Axes have only won 2 games, and one of them was against V3, which is a bit of a give. It is like a free game. Although V3 did nearly win that game, and probably should have won that game. And then the other one was against Rascal Jester when Rascal Jester were in their slump of the first 3 games. Although to be fair, they beat Hawks the opening game. I completely forgot about that. I think it's still pretty fair to say that Hawks are favoured. Hawks have definitely looked stronger and more coordinated as a team, and they've definitely done better at beating up the worst teams than Axes. And Axes are definitely one of the worst teams. There's definitely room for upset because there isn't that much of a quality difference. Like, if Hawks are, let's say Hawks are here, sorry, I was looking at the camera. I'd say Axes are probably like here-ish, and then V3 are off the camera. Um, but like, and quite far off the camera. But I think Hawks have to be the favourites this game. Burning Core v3. Part of me wants to predict, do the stereotypical, for me anyway, stereotypical prediction that V3 are going to win this game just because it's a V3 upset, and I want V3 to win a game this year. Because I like players like Unica, Washidai. Like, as in individually, their team is like fairly solid for the LJL, but when they come together, they seem to be lacking something in closing out games or just generally on some neutral objectives. They seem to lack some coordination, some ability that the other teams don't lack, and maybe that will come with experience. And I'm hoping that they've got some of that, getting some of that experience, and maybe they can compete towards the end of summer. I don't think it's going to happen if I'm going to be completely realistic, but we can always dream. Um, I won't be able to watch these games, by the way, because I'm going out on Sunday, so I won't be able to watch these games live. Hopefully, I'll have them in time for the video that I'll be recording on Tuesday. But I can't really guarantee it because I've also got to catch up on these 3 games, and there's other regions that I have to catch up on. Although Monday I will have 3 just to dedicate to the LJL and catching up on their games. Sorry about that visual spam. um, but yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at. Anyway, V3 I don't think can beat Burning Core. Burning Core are, in my opinion, like on the same level as Axes, just behind Hawks, and just behind Crest Gaming and Rascal Jester right now. But I think Burning Core are enough in the mid pack that V3 shouldn't win. But there is always a chance that V3 could upset because they are not that bad. Like, if we look at the V3 roster, like, and we try and break it down. You got Washidai, who I think is a mid-pack top laner on his own. You got Unica, who is a top end of the mid-pack jungler in my opinion, but also has a weird tendency to int some games. Then you got Yu-Gi-Oh, who is bottom end of the mid-pack, I would say personally. Dress code, I don't know how I feel about dress code. Sometimes he looks really good, sometimes he looks less good. It's very hard to say. Hetal, is he the same? I feel like he's not the same support that they had in Spring. He is apparently. Ignore me. He's basically, that tells you basically everything you need to know. He's invisible, and it's almost impossible to judge coaching staff without being in the team itself. And I do not have that information as much as I'd love to be that involved in the LJL and the Japanese esports region. I'm not involved enough, so I couldn't tell you. Um, Anyway, DFM Crest Gaming Act. I think it's fairly obvious that this is going to go DFM's way. Crest Gaming Act are falling again. They're dropping back into the mid pack versus my predictions at the start of this split. Probably the bottom end of the mid pack, if anything, because like if we, I'm gonna have to do this now. I'm gonna have to like sort of do a semi tier list without a tier. Wait, actually, let's see. Is there an LGL tier list? LGL tier list. Oh, there is. Okay. Let's do it. Um, if we had to do a tier list, you've got Sengoku DFM, who are looking to win the league. Then you have probably Rascal Jester Hawks right now, who are like looking to be an upset team. And then you upset teams. Then you probably have. I actually no. We'll do it like this. Then you have like a tier, there's a tier break, like there's a whole tier gap between them and everyone else. Then you have like Rascal Jester, Hawks, Axes, Birding Court, and Crest, probably in that order. Um, maybe you could make an argument for that. In fact, I would probably say that's the truth, that Vaxies are probably in a lower tier. And then you have D3. I think that's probably accurate. It's worth doing just like a bias tier list. I'm not going to try and order them, but like if I was to do a tier list of my biases, it probably looks something like that. So it's worth taking what I say with a pinch of salt, because I do love these four teams, and I'm probably overrating Hawks a little. It's impossible to overrate V3, and these two are confidently the strongest, but it's definitely worth looking at it with Hawks, Rascal Jester in terms of my faith, and Axes in terms of like the fact that I think they're probably even in the mid pack. And probably it's also worth in terms of thinking that I might be underestimating Crest and Burning Core. Anyway, DFM are definitely going to win their game. That's pretty much all I have to say. If you think I'm wrong, feel free to leave a comment. If you think I'm right, also feel free to leave a comment and justify why I might be right or wrong. Um, Feel free to like and subscribe if you feel like it. You'll be the first subscriber that isn't someone I know. um, if I'd really appreciate if that was you. See you in the next video where I will be talking mostly about LPL, maybe, and the North American League. And if I'm not talking, if I've missed that, I will make sure to catch up on it, and that's a promise from me to you. See ya.